Infinite ammo.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Infinite Ammo Syndicate podcast special about our personal top 5 best and worst remasters. I already fucked it up in the intro.
Amazing.
Oh yeah. What order do you think we should go in, folks? Should we go in, best first and then worst, or?
I say it doesn't matter really.
All right. Well, I'm gonna introduce everybody in order. My name's Bane. You know me, I've been here for a little while. Then Rin. We got Rin here.
Hey, what's going on, people? How's it going? Hopefully we have a fun podcast today.
Yeah.
We will. Sonic.
Yeah, it's Sonic Kick. You probably don't know who I am, but that's fine. Go ahead.
Shadow Pyro.
It's, well, as you just said, Shadow Pyro.
We got Shadow.
Yo, second shadow. Not 3 shadows today. That's nice.
Yeah,
It makes a
Shadow,
change.
Shadow, and
I
Shadow.
can bring in my friend Blackrock Shadow. There you go.
Please
Oh,
don't.
great.
Oh boy. Zardon.
Yeah, you probably also don't know who I am, but hopefully we have a good stream.
Exactly. And Anna.
Yay.
Very straight to the point.
Yeah, very, very on the ball there. All right, so we're gonna go in that order of how we're gonna go through this. So, I'm gonna say the worst HD collection. It's probably for a lot of us number one. Silent Hill HD collection.
Mm.
Yep.
I have never been more disappointed in something in my life. I can only imagine this one is what it must feel like to be truly disappointed. I bought the game day of Xbox 360 version also. But there's a lot more. There's a lot more problems with that one than the PS3 version. But I stuck it in, started to play Silent Hill 3. So I was like, well, that's the one, voice acting is completely different, so I want to go through. The first achievement I got crashed the fucking game.
Oh, nice.
I've never had that happen. I was actually fucking impressed with that. I was like, huh. I just thought it was like my console, so I went to my cousin's house, who lives next door. Well, back when I lived with my parents, and I put the disc into his console, and we went through because it was the first boss fight, which is not that long to get to, and it crashed the fucking console also.
Wow.
Yeah, so I've never finished the Silent Hill HD Collection's version of Silent Hill 3. It fucking crashes.
The game was so disappointed that it said "fuck life."
I don't want myself to be played like that. I can't do that to myself.
I don't want to suffer through this. Rin, what's your first worst?
My first worst is Silent Hill, of course. Just
I think raise your hand if you put Silent Hill on your list or say something.
Everybody who
I'm raising a hand.
Aye.
I didn't.
oh, that's
Neither
first.
did
We
I
have a
because I
outlier.
never played
I
it.
was just smart enough not to play it.
Awesome.
We have an outlier. Okay.
Well, I jumped in when it first came out. I didn't know it'd be that bad.
But to finish, I would say it's so many problems, stuttering, frame rate issues. I remember the fog was messed up, so you could see the bottom of the lake, which is unbelievably stupid. And just the
They
voice
perfected
acting,
it too much.
they perfected the fog where you could see through everything. And they had misplaced sound in some areas where it didn't even make sense. Like some of the monster sounds were misplaced with other creatures in the series, and that was weird.
Yeah.
Like the bugs, they made different noises that didn't make any sense.
There was also some. Oh, sorry.
I'd like to add to that. You know, you guys do know why that Silent Hill HD was so
I was gonna get
botched,
into
right?
that one. Yeah.
Didn't they say something about like the beta code being?
Yeah,
They lost
mishandled?
all the assets.
Yeah, all the
basically lost
assets from later builds of the games weren't available, but early builds were, which is actually kind of common, especially for Japanese devs. But
It's
I mean,
weird.
fuck.
It's weird.
Blue Point does theirs by ripping the retail builds and then going from there and building onto it.
And the last thing I wanted to say is that they also mentioned that the other Silent Hill games weren't being bundled in this collection because people only remembered 2 and 3, which is weird.
Yeah, which I love the first game. I play that game every once in a while because I think it's fucking great.
It's hard. It's hard to understand 3 because it's a direct sequel to 1. So why would you exclude that? It makes no sense.
I'm glad they didn't touch 1 though. Although they did add the creepiest fucking glitch, and this is gonna be a little visual one here for the Discord. But there was a glitch where Maria's eye was replaced with her teeth texture.
Ew.
Yeah, and it's in the chat there if you want to take a look.
Oh,
they could have totally said that was intentional, to scare you.
Yeah, that was actually that's a fucking creepy glitch. That should.
I don't know how I'm gonna sleep tonight. Really don't know how I'm gonna sleep tonight. Nope.
I hate horror games, and I played a Silent Hill game one time, and I got to a point where you had this radio, and if anything came near you, the radio crackled, and I ran away from the machine and cried until my father went and turned the machine off because I wouldn't go near it.
I played the first my first experience with the first Silent Hill, like I was like amazed just by how, like, since I was older, I was more like, I actually got scared at like the first part of Silent Hill where you go down to the fucking, to the alleyway, and then like the weird things start coming at you. That shit scared the hell out of me when I was in fucking college, and I was like, yo, this game is fucking lit. So yeah, that was my first experience with Silent Hill.
All right. I bet say the first time I played the first game was in 2000, and I was way too young to be playing that fucking game, and it gave me nightmares.
Okay, so I have one more worst. I have one more
Okay.
worst. Real quick. Is Prototype Biohazard Bundle, which is also awful. They ruined the first Prototype. The draw distance is terrible, and the frame rate drops like to about, I want to say, 20 FPS.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just great.
I'm not gonna lie. I've recently been playing the Prototype 1 and 2. I can't remember too much about, because I played on the 360, but I enjoyed them. They may have their faults or whatever, but because I can't remember the original ones.
The originals, frame rate wise, they are better than the Biohazard Bundle because there's also like misplaced textures all over the place, and it really didn't make any sense. So I would say that is definitely another worse if you play that. Okay. Activision was super lazy for some weird reason, as usual. So it may be like some of the, because it's weird, like they do the Call of Duty 4 remaster is great in some areas, but then they do that.
That's their money though.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, the biggest problem though is I don't know if anybody else has this problem, but on Windows 10, fucking Prototype 1 will not run on PC. I bought it on sale for like $5, thinking, hell yeah, I can get back into this game, and it didn't work.
Well, you're better off getting the older version.
Yeah, I have it on 360 still, so I'm not gonna bitch too much.
Yeah.
Anybody else got any more worst?
Okay.
Wait, you want to go first?
I want to go first. This is probably one you guys have probably never heard of, right? So, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 on iOS.
I was looking that up.
iOS?
What?
You have never. Okay.
Yep. It's on both Android and iOS.
Android and iOS. So this is a full round up remake of Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, developed by EA.
How?
I'm not even fucking
EA
kidding.
make a bad game? No way.
You mean the worst company in America?
I'm not even fucking kidding.
Did they put microtransaction in it?
No, but I'm pretty sure they charged money for it, so that's already a crime.
Don't give them ideas. They'll go back. Oh my goodness. Could you? Oh god. EA just remastering everything.
Oh god. It's the
then...
first thing when I click on a video of it's the logo. Oh no.
Okay. I now want the first Harry Potter game remastered.
So basically, this mobile port is like it tries to make Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, but everything is the model, like the models are in 3D. Yeah, the models are in 3D, and they look like absolute garbage. And like the stilted animation is even more noticeable in this remake, compared to like the original game. But in the remake, it's just really fucking bad.
Why does that sound like a worse version of Mortal Kombat 4? I don't know why.
It basically is.
Christ.
You know, he's actually right. Now that I'm watching this, yeah.
And they did remove it from the iOS store, luckily. But
seems like they did a favor.
Admittedly, this came out around the iPhone 3GS. We're now at 8.
Even then, it was still shit. Let's be real.
I mean, you're right, but fuck.
Phone games, especially fighting games, have only just gotten into their groove since NetherRealm started doing them.
I disagree because I did like the KOF ones.
Yeah. I because I'm such a hardcore fighting gamer, so anything on the phone just confuses me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that looks bad. Wow.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. You gotta sync up footage from this for a video, man.
I definitely will do that.
I know you're such a big Mortal Kombat fan, so I'm like, I have to introduce this to Rin.
I've never seen this before, and this is the worst thing I ever seen in my life, so let's just move on.
I have other ones, but I guess I'll just move on to someone else.
Okay.
I've got 3 here because I've only got 4 that I hate that I can think of. Sleeping Dogs.
Oh,
yeah. That counts as a remake or a remaster because it's like one of those definitive ones, but it was ported to a higher console.
I'll consider. I'll allow it.
Yeah, it's super weird.
Ian judge's gavel.
Yeah,
It was
like
way too soon for it.
It came out
2 years
following
later,
year?
right?
What, 2 years?
Yeah, no, it's about a year and a half. Let me look.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I definitely. No, I'm not sure. I think the game did need it to get like a remaster, but at the same time, I'm like, at the same time, I'm like, they really didn't add anything new to Sleeping Dogs. So if you played the original experience, then that's pretty much what it is. I think they just patched in some, they patched in the fact that DLC. You can't find, the DLC and the fact that the health shrines are kind of weird to find now. But other than that, everything else about the game was fine.
Oh no, it's literally the same.
Yeah, it is the same thing. So
it doesn't look any better or worse than the 360 or PS3 version, really.
I agree with this.
It's one of those things that if it was backwards compatibility on both the platforms at that time, it would have been fucking useless.
Yeah. It's great if you didn't play the first one, or if you enjoyed the first version.
But you didn't get the DLC, and
it would be. I played it; it was fun. But then I got it again for over here it's £20 or something like that. So it's actually I got it for free during the Xbox Gold thing. So
yeah, it was Gold 1 month, and I think it was PlayStation Plus the next.
I think it would be a great thing to introduce that game to people who never played it before. Maybe put it on like PlayStation Plus or Games for Gold, because that would be a good way to get them into Sleeping Dogs, considering that there won't be a sequel because it got canceled. So great fucking job, Square.
I was really waiting for that. I was like, oh wait, they're doing this for because they did Games for Gold, like it was last year or something. I was like, all right, so maybe they're trying to get hype for it, and nothing. And now I'm upset.
It supposedly had co-op too, so that would have been great.
See, they did confirm. Awesome. They did confirm they're doing a film adaptation of it with Donnie Yen as Wei Shen.
That's a good choice. I like it.
Hold on. They're doing a movie of a game for a game that was already based on movies.
Yes.
So
we're doing a game, movie, game, movie.
That's sure.
Inception overload.
You need the weird parallels every now and then, so yeah.
I had GoldenEye as well. The new one.
I put that in my bias hate because I like to discuss this because I feel like the GoldenEye remake isn't bad, but it's it's Call of Duty. That's kind of all it is. But at the same time, it's still playable. It's at the same time it's still playable. When I see a really bad, when I think worst remakes, I think this completely shits on the original game and it's literally like unplayable. That's when I think worst remakes.
Is
like,
that GoldenEye Reloaded?
GoldenEye
Yeah.
Reloaded?
Okay, I know what you're talking about now. The one with Daniel
Yeah.
Craig. All right.
Yeah,
GoldenEye
Craig.
Reloaded is
61.
just really mediocre. That's
Yeah.
pretty much all. It's not good. It's not bad.
It
It's
is.
just there.
It's just a Call of Duty knockoff with the cliche. It's like slow-mo shooting and stuff like that.
That's weird. That seems like everything that's not GoldenEye. So why would they do that?
Money.
Money.
Yeah, money.
Like they need it.
Have you seen the original trailer for it? Was like, hey, you guys think GoldenEye is one of the best shooters ever made? And I'm just like, GoldenEye fucking sucks.
Someone.
I mean,
kill
there's
this
Perfect
man.
Dark, but GoldenEye is really good. I grew up on that.
If it
That's
wasn't for
amazing.
GoldenEye, a lot of the things that we have now wouldn't be here.
Yeah, at the same time, it's more like a
It's
receptor.
close to originator, but it doesn't make it one of the best things. It's like Mario games; they're really good because they're like amongst the originals. But you play them now, and it's like, yeah, you're good for when you came out, but we've moved on beyond just jumping, and that's it.
Yeah, it's very dated.
Yeah.
It's just how it. Are we still on hating right now? Because I've got one more.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah. So-
It's the MGS HD collection, not because it's crap, but because the games that they had, or rather the one game, it had portable ops, which I have nothing against. But if you're making HD collection, you probably should have the original. Well, I say original, the original PlayStation 1 and 2 and 3, not just a random offshoot game that was on the PSP.
Oh,
And
no,
2
it
and 3.
wasn't Portal Ops. It was Peace Walker.
Peace Walker
Peace Walker?
was. Yeah, it was Peace Walker.
Yeah, Peace Walker. But and that's the thing that got me saying, oh yeah, I'm gonna get to play it all through, blah blah. And it was Peace Walker, and I'm just like, oh, this is a game that I didn't care to play for. But other than that, I'm okay with it. I played through 3, and I love 3, and that's really all I played.
I say if people really don't care about Big Boss, they won't like the side content for that game. But I think overall, Bluepoint, that's on one of my best, actually. They did a fine job with what they did. I didn't like that they cut out some things like the Snake Dream
versus Monkey.
Yeah, Snake versus Monkey and the Dream sequence that was cut out in 3.
The Dream sequence, because the game that was based on was canceled. So that was not really a thing for them. And the Snake versus Monkey one was because Sony owns the rights to Ape Escape, so I wouldn't have.
They could have put it in the PS3 version. I mean, it's weird that they did that.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm disappointed that MGS2 didn't have skateboarding. Like, what the fuck?
I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that.
I have
Somebody
some
else?
bad.
Okay.
I have some
Anna?
bad. Okay, so I don't know if any of you have heard of the Baldur's Gate series.
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Okay.
Are we talking about the new one?
Well, that's an enhanced edition, so that's the remake. So I hate the remake. I hate it. I think it's possibly one of the worst things they could have done because they weren't allowed to change almost any of the original content. They couldn't get the licensing for it. They were allowed to add content. They could change very, very minor details. So all the original continuity issues that they had in the original game, which I don't want to, save because spoiler alerts. So all these original continuity issues that when they announced the game was going to be made, everyone's like, oh, you're going to fix all this. The story's going to make sense because he said this and then he said this. And they were like, we can't fix any of that. Nothing got fixed. The story never got fixed. So many plot holes didn't get filled. And there was stories that were never finished. Because they weren't allowed to add any content. They just added stuff that was irrelevant to the story.
Now, okay, here's the thing with that there, then. Is it necessarily the fault of a remaster, or is it the fault of the rights holders?
If you're going to make a cake and you don't have any sugar, then you shouldn't make the cake.
Wasn't
What about a sugar-free cake?
wasn't this in
Oh my god.
wasn't this this port, wasn't this the one where they started adding like really shitty characters and like they tried to push like a gender stereotype? Yeah, they pushed their gender stereotype or something like that.
Yeah, they tried to push gay biscuit. I don't even know what that was about.
It's a whole long story. I really don't like to get into it, but yeah.
It's dumb. And I mean, don't get me wrong, they did make it pretty. I will give them that. They did clean up the interface. But you know what? Modders had already done that. Pocket Plane had already done that with their Tutu mod. People had already improved. Yeah, I know, Tutu. That's what they called it, BG22. They'd already done that. The modding community had already done upping the graphics, adding characters, adding content. What we needed was basically an official canon story fix. There was so many parts of the story that needed filling in, and we didn't get that.
It sounds like a case of modders doing better than the developers.
Sounds like we are talking about the Skyrim remastered somehow.
Oh yeah, that's another can of worms, unfortunately.
Oh yeah.
And my last bad one. Now, I'm taking this because you said games, and I want to say every freaking remaster of Monopoly sucks, and we need to stop.
There's a new one that's coming out. I can't remember what it was, and it was one that I really wanted. It was
Monopoly.
Was it The Walking Dead? No. There's a new one that I heard. It was like on Facebook or something like that, like 2-3 weeks ago, maybe last month was like a couple days ago, but there was a new one, and I'm gonna search it and I will put it in the Discord so you guys can see what it is. It was absolutely amazing. And I can't wait.
Cheaters version?
Yes, it was the Cheaters one, and I want that.
Yeah.
Monopoly as I'm sorry.
No, you go.
Monopoly as a game is fucking broken. Literally, just do this, and you do this like imager post, and you'll win every fucking time.
Yeah, send all your friends to jail.
Oh boy.
Oh, Monopoly, my god.
It's not broken.
It's broken as game.
Not.
The remasters have to stop, people.
People don't win at these at Monopoly that much just because they don't read the goddamn instructions.
Follow the
read
rules.
The instructions, it's broken.
This sounds like worse than Mario Kart, where all your friends are against you, but Monopoly ruins friendships. I understand.
Nah, Monopoly is Mario Party. That's what it is.
Oh my god, so you want to rip someone's head off. Got it.
I like to add, I want to add to the remasters, but I don't think everyone's gone yet.
I haven't.
Well, I have a few more, two more that weren't mentioned yet. I mean, the Sleeping Dogs, I have that on my list as well because it's really just weird that they released that. Other than that, I have the Xbox remaster of the Conker's Bad Fur Day. Because they just sucked. Yeah, they just sucked out all of the some of the jokes.
Worst part of it, yeah.
Yeah, it was just so disappointing. I mean, Nintendo.
Although it did look
that
way
kind
better
of stuff.
But
yeah, that is true. But it's not
positive.
the same. It's just not the same without the swearing, and some of the jokes were cut out completely, as far as I know. So.
I put that under bias hate for me because Conquer Live and Reloaded. It sucks they took out the swear words and the art style doesn't look that great anymore. But at the end of the day, it's still like I said, still a fine game. But yeah. My list is kind of like a sheltered kid. I never played bad games. I'm just mildly inconvenienced. And the last one I have is I just have to now watch out that I say it's the right one. I think it's Skyrim Special Edition. It's not Legendary Edition. That one is good. It's the newest one because of the modding. Basically, it's not the game's fault again, but yeah, it's just sad that they changed
the architecture so that the script extender doesn't work anymore. I think they still haven't updated that because it's fucking complicated. So most of the greatest mods will not work on that edition, even if the edition is better. It's smoother, it looks better, but yeah, most of the mods will not work, so it's not worth it, sadly.
All right, I got the three I had, like the other three I had, other than Silent Hill and Ultimate Mortal Kombat, was Turtles in Time Reshelled.
Yep.
Turtles in Time Reshelled is such a god awful piece of shit that they did. That it just felt like, oh yeah, let's just make the game in 3D. Let's just play Turtles in Time. Okay, we can do this. Whatever. Put it on the store, and they just shat it out. They didn't even remake the soundtrack like really good. But
that's one of the best aspects about the original. So them ruining that is weird to me.
And another one I had is Sonic Genesis, Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis on Game Boy Advance.
So I never played it.
Okay, so basically what they did is Sonic Team took the fucking Sonic Advance engine and tried to remake that in as Sonic 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead, that has way too many collision detection issues. The frame rate on a fucking 15-year-old game, like the frame rate on a much stronger console and a 15-year-old game was really fucking laggy. The camera was pushed way too in, and the add insult to injury, literally a year later, Simon Thomley remade Sonic 1 on Game Boy in the actual correct way, just to add insult to injury. And now he was also now today you see him working on Sonic Mania. So
he came up in the world.
Yeah. And the other one I had was I'm sorry. I put this. Oh, go on.
Yeah, you continue.
The other one I had was unnecessary / why Square remakes. So we have Final Fantasy IV or Final Fantasy the After Years, which was like, and Final Fantasy VI. Those games look like shit.
I feel like not mentioning Type 0 is a crime. Really, it is.
I don't think it's a worst remaster.
Yeah, but it looks so bad.
Sometimes remasters are so bad that we just pretend they don't exist.
And that's one of them to me.
If that was true, we would have completely ignored Silent Hill HD collection.
Oh,
no, Silent Hill's a level of bad. It's like
it's notoriety.
Well, if you have the original,
it's like history. Like every gaming studio in the world has a copy of Silent Hill on their wall framed. And every time they're making a game, they point at it and like, we are better than this.
Well,
exactly.
This is the low bar, people. As long as we are better than this.
Oh boy. And yeah, Blizz, did you get any?
Yeah, on my list I've got Bioshock 1 and 2 because for the PC edition,
Oof.
they barely even did something. It's just a lazy attempt to make like, I don't know, more money or stuff like that because it is still unplayable. I still can't play Bioshock 1 and 2 to this day on PC.
Yeah, it's fucking nightmarish.
Yeah, I hated it. It was like, yeah, finally I can play it now, and then nope, can't play. Yep. Crash.
Another Square thing, King's Knight. I don't know why the fuck they remade King's Knight for Final Fantasy 15. I don't know why the fuck they remade goddamn one of the worst NES games for 15 and have knocked in Prompto.
Yeah.
What's it? Knocked in Prompto. Go, hey man, you want to play some King's Knight? And I'm like,
seems like they're trying to promote, and I would go with no on that. I don't want to play any King's Knight with Final Fantasy 15 characters.
Oh god. But yeah, that's my list.
So yeah, I got also the Skyrim Remastered on my list. Just the reasons you already said. It's the mods doesn't work anymore really, and like also Anna said, the modders already have done everything it is in this edition. Like making better graphics and stuff like that. It didn't address any of the issues from Skyrim and just make it like called it a remastered edition or special edition. So yeah, that was my list. I didn't had any played bad remasters.
We're talking about just Skyrim Special Edition. You're not dissing on my Skyrim VR here because we're gonna have a little cat fight.
Well,
There's a cat fight.
No, I love Skyrim. but
we can diss Skyrim on Switch.
I've given Todd $4,000. I need help.
Can diss Skyrim on Switch. I mean,
there's Skyrim on anything at this point now, man.
Yeah,
you can Skyrim on your cell phone.
Skyrim VR is amazing.
I'll wait for.
Do you really think so? I played it and I was very disappointed with it.
Todd, this is the 7th week in a row.
What VR do you use?
The HTC Vive.
Yeah, I use the same. I love it, but I modded the crap out of it too.
Okay, I just played the base version. I was very disappointed with the melee combat.
There's a huge Reddit thread on how to mod it, what mods to use. But I modded the crap out of my game, and everything's voice activated. And
ooh, that's nice. Okay.
And it's just amazing. It's so good. And
I guess I'll have to check that out then, because I'm looking for a good reason to really make a series with that game on my channel. But the base game just doesn't feel exciting enough for me.
Seems to be.
But okay, I'll check that out then.
Seems to be the general consensus. Skyrim is way better with mods.
Oh yeah, that's just a given, I guess.
Yeah.
I remember when I was when I was in high school. I remember when I played Skyrim, I installed the Bleach mod, like the where you could have like a Bankai, and so every fucking time I released my the battle, like I think was either a dragon or I released my Bankai, #1 would always play. You know that one song that Ichigo. That one theme of Bleach. Baby, now you feel like #1.
Oh my gosh.
It was great.
Oh my god.
It was beautiful.
I've seen videos where people have the My Little Ponies as companions.
Oh my god. Why?
And they're fully voiced. They're fully
I can't even imagine that, to be honest.
I now know what immense disappointment feels like. Thanks. I didn't think that'd be a mod.
They have Thomas the Tank Engine replacing the dragon.
Yes.
That's cool though.
That's an awesome mod. I just wanted to tell it.
Okay, so are we finished with worst before we move on to best?
I'm gonna rapid fire a couple of them really fast. The worst ones that I think, other than Silent Hill HD Collection. In the useless tier, there's the Borderlands HD Collection and Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition. Those two are fucking useless. And in terms of hardly works at all is the Splinter Cell HD Collection they had on PS3.
No. Man, those games are okay.
Well, I just really like the games though, so
I get that, but the settings are so nutty. If you want 1080p, you have to go into settings, turn on 720p, then go back to XMB, go all the way back, turn that to 1080, and then switch it back in the game.
Okay, that does sound awful though. So
yeah. All right, so the best remasters.
Well, just real quick, if I'd be cynical, I would say Sea of Thieves is a terrible remaster of No Man's Sky, but that doesn't really count.
No, hang on. At least Sea of Thieves has pretty water effects.
Yeah, okay.
No Man's Sky's got nothing. No Man's Sky literally has
water.
Hey, but
No. It has the pretty sight of everyone's hopes and dreams falling.
I will say this: it's better than them making Kinect games. Still, I'll take this over Kinect games.
It has half a Kraken, so it has something.
Hang on. All right, that's unfair. That's the first stage of the fight.
If you want to play a good seafaring game, just play Assassin's Creed 4. I mean, it does the same thing.
Yeah.
Like if I want
the first part of a fight, that's not
it's very incomplete graphically.
Speaking of Rare, I guess I'll go first with I think my favorite remaster, value-wise also, but that's neither here nor there. Rare Replay. I think it was smart having 30 games for $30, and a lot of them, especially the N64 games, run surprisingly well.
Mm-hmm.
I can dig it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, original Conquer and everything works fine. Quality is great. And honestly, now you can get it for $10. So 30 games for $10. A lot of them, admittedly, Rare's older, like ZX Spectrum games, which, if you like those, they're fantastic. But yeah, I think all in all, for $30, it's not bad. And it thankfully doesn't include the fucking Kinect games they made for 360. So that era's hidden. And,
I can dig that.
Brandon, what would you say is your first best remaster there? We've lost Ren.
Oh. You had a power outage again?
No, I didn't. I'm back. Okay, I would say Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition. I think that is the way to do a remaster, by adding in new content on top of what you already get. So you get like various characters. You get new characters like Virgil, Trish, and Lady, and you can play with them. They all have different and unique styles, and I really appreciate that. I wish it was more story content, but the amount of gameplay you get with those 5 characters is ridiculous. So I would say Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition, definitely pick that up.
But it's also broke as shit.
Yeah, Virgil's pretty broken. I have to agree.
Story, like I have the same exact thing as you, and the story is the only thing that lacks for me. Like, Virgil has a cool intro scene,
but
and
nothing else. And
else.
maybe an ending, but nothing really pertinent.
I think for that game it was kind of hard because at that point he was technically dead.
I think he was still alive during that point. He just went to Narrow City in some random location. Supposedly he got some bang time with a priest lady and had a kid. But we didn't see all this. It was just implied.
Hopefully 5 fixes that. Well, whenever they bring out 5, hopefully that does sort it out. Because if I remember correctly, it should be Devil May Cry 3, then it's 1, then 4, then 2, which we never speak about, so I won't say it again. But
I like the Red Hidden too, but that's kind of it.
Lucy is cool. There's certain gameplay aspects that are amazing, because I played Devil May Cry 2.
The rest of the game, yeah.
And then it just kind of, 2 is what got me into it, but I don't speak about 2 anymore after that.
So are we still on best?
Yeah, we're still on best. We've already. I think we finished worst.
Okay, so someone can take the next one.
I think that does take me on to best as well. Is DMCHD.
Yeah, all right.
Not bad.
Sonic.
I got a few. So Zelda. I'm gonna say Nintendo's 3DS remakes. You may think, oh, it's just a cash grab for the most part, and sometimes they are. Sometimes they are, but I think sometimes they are the best way to play the game. So I would honestly think that the Zelda Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask and Donkey Kong Country Returns on the 3DS are the best ways to play those games.
I didn't play Returns or Ocarina, but I will say this: Majora's Mask is right now the best way to play it.
Mm-hmm. Because Majora and Ocarina of Time, they were remade from the ground up, but they still have the glitches of like the original game.
Yeah, so everything's still there, so you can still speed run it any way you want. Yeah, and also that they improve the fucking gaming control.
With the Wii remote, right?
Well,
not with the remote. It was with gyro control.
Yeah, and with Circle Pad Pro. Yeah,
and because the original controls to aim the goddamn arrows with an Ocarina of Time were so bad. They were like extremely bad. Even on GameCube, they were really bad. Most because GameCube version just emulated N64 version. But enough of that.
The biggest problem with the N64 controller also was because they were expecting us to all be mutated from radiation to a point where we had 3 arms, but we weren't. So we had to deal with a controller for this weird mythical beast that was unwieldy to aim with. Or unwieldy to do pretty much anything with.
Yeah, basically. And other ones. I think Ren will probably have this, but Resident Evil Remake, hands down, one of the best way to remake a game if it's going to be built from the ground up. And It looks so damn beautiful. Even to today's standards, I personally think it looks so damn beautiful. The gameplay's still on point. It has the voice acting is a lot better, and all that.
Well,
kind
hang
of
on.
stuff.
Jill Sandwich. You can't top that line.
You can't top it in the original, but the rewrite is like, if you're ever going to sandwich in the sentence, that's how you do it in the localization. So,
yeah.
All
right, Shadow Pyro.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
What else do I have on this? Yeah, the DMC. Well, I've got DMC technically twice because I've got HD Remake and I've got Definitive Edition. And yes, I'm one of those people that like DMC with the new Dante.
Okay, I've said this before, and I'll say it again with that one. I think it would have been a better game if it wasn't tied to the franchise.
Absolutely, completely agree with you on that one.
Like, when you name something like Metal Gear Survive, it's a fine game relatively, but it has a franchise that has a standard with it, and it does not meet that standard.
No, not at all.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with him. That's the hard thing that I had with that game when they first announced it. It was like, okay, yeah, cool. This character is not Dante in any way, shape, or form. But then I played the game after all the hate that I gave it, and I was like, you know what, this game's actually really good. Just be called something else, like Bayonetta. Bayonetta is basically a Devil May Cry game because it's made by the same person. Well, the concept is the same person, but because it's called Bayonetta, it's okay. And in comparison for the original game and the remake or remaster rather, is like, it's more or less the same thing, but the graphics are a little bit better, and you do get the DLC with it as well. So that was cool being able to play as Virgil through that. But that's kind of really the main draw, is that it looks a bit better. But as for the DMC HD remake, I just fell in love with Devil May Cry all over again because I just got to play Devil May Cry 3, and that made me really happy.
I understand that. All right, Shadow.
Well, we already talked about the Devil May Cry stuff, so I would say on my list is still, let me see, Metro Redux, which is a bundle of, what was it, Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light.
Yep, and it improved 2033's gameplay.
Yes, and you had, I think that was also new, the choice of gameplay style. If you want to go survival, like very harsh, more horror survival kind of focused, or what was the other mode? I think it was called Spartan mode or something, where it's more gunplay, more Call of Duty style.
Where you're going in guns blazing.
Yeah,
and
I like that because
ammo.
Yeah, because I played it twice because of that, because I wanted to do one run with survival and one run just going absolutely crazy, and it's almost like it's a different game if you do it like that. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah. So, Zardon.
Yeah. My list is also Resident Evil 1. When I'm talking about that, we already talked about it. My first place is Resident Evil 4. It's just it just feels so good playing this game with a mouse and keyboard, and the graphics are also now still decent.
Yeah,
and it's just a game I really love, and seeing it getting a good remaster made me really happy. I also got I guess I'm the only one, Duke Nukem 3D and Shadow Warrior Classic Redux, because it's like a way for all the games you have to do it this way, because they added like a multiplayer support, they added mod support, a level editor, and other versions from the game, like the summer vacation or the Christmas version. And this is like stuff I think is way to go with a remaster of a game like Duke Nukem or Shadow Warrior.
I get that.
Can I go next?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Are you finished, Bazardin?
I got God of War 3, but I think you also got it, so.
Okay, so since someone said Resident Evil Remake, I'm not gonna say that one, but that is on my best list. But I will also say I think Blue Point Games, they deserve undying praise, because the rest of my list is all Blue Point, like Nathan Drake Collection, Uncharted, God of War, and Metal Gear Solid HD Collection. I think those are great HD remasters by Blue Point Games. They have an understanding of doing games that look good, that are running in a higher frame rate, and also the stuff they put in here. Sometimes it's incredible. So I do appreciate what Blue Point does. I love all these games. I do have some issues with them excluding some certain things from Metal Gear Solid HD, but it's not a big deal breaker. I think seeing Metal Gear Solid 3 in like HD for the first time, 60 FPS, that was quite astounding. So I have to commend Blue Point. Their games are pretty good.
Yep. Anna.
Yeah, I got also I got also Shadow Warrior Spec or Shadow Warrior Dragonfall on my list. Because like it was the first attempt I ever played Shadow Warrior, and they make the graphics really good. They make like the combat, they improved it, and the quests like that, and they make even like the Shadow Warrior Dragonfall is like a standalone version from the original quest, and even that is a good way to play Shadow Warrior. It was really nice port.
If I remember, Shadow Warrior is the game where you're fighting demons and stuff, and you have a sword and stuff like that.
Yep.
Okay, I know what you're talking about now. I played the remake of that game, but I think they give you. I think if you buy like the remake of the game, you get the original game and the HD port for free.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good deal. Also, Anthony has to go, unfortunately. Well,
not yet. I have like 3 more I wanted to say, but
go ahead and
rapid fire them. Knock them out.
All right. So the mobile ports of Sonic. Yes.
Okay.
Hear me out.
Of course.
Hear me out, because same guys who ended on to work on Sonic Mania, but CD and Sonic 1 and 2 were remade from the ground up, and they were done by Christian Whitehead and Simon Thomley, and they made me appreciate the games more because not only is it running at 1080p 60 frames per second, yes, on mobile phones, it was also with like stuff like Sonic 2, they added cut content like Hidden Power Zone that was re-added into the game, so you got an all new zone, and there's multiple characters for both games. We're just wondering when the hell they're gonna do Sonic 3 on the phone. So yeah. We got Star Ocean Second Evolution. Star Ocean, it's a great series. The later games have some faults, but like the first and the second games were remade for PSP, and especially for the second game, it made me appreciate the game a whole lot more. Some of the changes I didn't like at first, but they kind of grew on me because like the redone art style, but then just started to grow on me when I started to see like the different facial animations, not like facial animations, like art for the game that had the characters more fun, and the combat was improved to a whole new degree. That's a recent remake I played, which I've been really enjoying, and I do want to finish it. Like I never got to finish the original PS1 game. And Zone of the Enders Second Runner by Hexadrive, not the original version, but by Hexadrive. I'm glad that the PS3 at least got Second Runner
the
packs.
best port, because on Xbox, Zone of the Enders Second Runner is terrible.
Yeah, believe me, I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think I missed this one, but this came to mind during when we were talking. Is it's another Sonic game, but it's Sonic Adventure, but it's not the better SADX, which is like it's like a huge mod for Sonic Adventure, where on the PC, because the PC version of the game is really fucking shit. But better SADX basically adds other stages and also adds the original Dreamcast look of the game, because not a lot of people like the DX version, which I can definitely see because everything just looks like
oversaturated.
Everything looks like they just put throughout the entire game, and like there were like missing textures and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But better SADX, the mod better SADX makes that game a whole lot better for me. But yeah.
I'm sorry, but I just realized that I mixed up Shadowrun with Shadow Warrior in my notes.
Oh no!
The last one I wanted to talk about was Shadowrun and not Shadow Warrior. That's why I said it's a tactical round-based game.
Well, Anthony, since you have to go, you can do your outro really quickly.
All right, thank you. You can find me on YouTube, youtube.com/Sonic/SonicKick, twitter.com, SonicKick with an underscore, and I think that's about it. But yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay, Double Joe, it was good to have you. Hopefully we have you back in the future. And you take care, sir.
Same to you.
See you. All right. So, do we have any more best going around the table?
Yar.
So I got a couple also, but yeah, you can go.
I've got, as some of you may know, like I said earlier, I love fighting games. Third Strike, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike.
The online edition?
Online, the HD one that was on the 360.
I have that on PS3.
Iron Galaxy.
Yes. It's good. Yeah, it's really good.
And it, like, my fighting games are one of my original loves, going all the way back into Tekken. And this port, because I never played Third Strike on the original version or the arcade version until this, and it blew my mind. Managed to actually play it after watching Justin Wong get owned by Daigo with all the parries. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just hit up YouTube and watch it, and you'll just get the amazingness. And I tried to emulate it. Still can't to this day, and it hurts my feeling, but that game is just amazing. All the characters, and it just feels so fluid, and the soundtrack is amazing. And they've only updated it ever so slightly with the soundtrack in comparison to the original game, but just enough to make it still feel normal, but modern, well, rather original, but modern at the same time. And I just love it. Amazing.
And luckily, we will be able to play that game again when Street Fighter 30th Anniversary comes out very soon.
What I've heard about that is, because it's not Iron Galaxy again, I can't remember who's actually doing the ports for those ones.
I totally forgot.
Yeah, I don't know, because it's not going to be like the HD remake like they did or even the Super Street Fighter 2 one, which was still a good remake of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like going to be like straight up arcade from what I've seen so far and what I've heard. But I'm hoping it's going to be a bit more than that, where you actually still have the arcade versions, but you have update color palettes and everything like that, which would be really cool. Not just straight from the arcade.
Yeah. The filters are very nice, I must say.
Yeah. And I've got Twin Snakes.
Really quickly before you continue, this game is being done by Street Fighter 30th Anniversary. Is being done by Backbone Entertainment. So I think they are the same guys who did DMC HD, if I'm not too mistaken.
Okay. What's their logo look like? Is that blue with a white spine?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, I've got some faith in that then. I've got some faith that's cool. I can dig that. Anyone else want to go before I say my last two?
I can rapid fire a few of them really fast if you want.
Go for it. No, go for it, dude.
Okay, so I have to caveat this with one part of a certain game. Okay. The campaign version of the Master Chief Collection.
Okay.
I love the Halo games. It's been very noted. And recently they put back, I think, all of them on backwards compatibility. And I went to play the 360 versions, and it is such a downgrade going from, 60 frames, which those collections are. Like the Master Chief Collection is 60 frames. The campaign holds it very well. Multiplayer we don't talk about. But the campaigns with that are so well done. Especially Halo 2 with the Halo 2 Anniversary. That is the kind of remaster I wish more games had. Especially ones where we can kind of go back and see with one button just like how the game used to look and then how it looks now.
Yeah.
And that is something that I wish more devs would do. Because there's some where it's like, what's the fucking difference? This game looks just fine back then.
Yeah. Go on, sorry.
Oh, sorry. But like Halo 2 Anniversary especially, but the Master Chief Collection I would say is but the campaign version is a really great remaster, which I'm hoping this patch they're putting out this year. They're doing a whole 1x enhancement and improvement patch for everything. So I'm really hoping this fixes the problems. Fingers crossed.
The online place is like having big problems, right?
Yeah, the
this game
online play. Oh god, you should have been there when the game first came out. It was a fucking nightmare. If you took a shot for every multiplayer match you got into, you'd be sober.
It's the opposite of what people want when they choose those things.
Yeah. It works, quote unquote, now, but it still has a lot of problems. And then the other remaster where I'll say I fucking love. I think the Shadow of the Colossus and Ico collection from PS3 was really great.
I definitely agree because man, the older game with the frame rate not being fixed, it's hard to go back after playing the HD remasters at this rate.
Oh yeah. Ico, I loved when that game first came out. But now going back to the PS2 version, unless you're going to use an emulator for that game, is a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, I tried it.
Oh yeah.
And the controls are not really refined, so you have to deal with constantly missing your jump or trying to hang on to a Colossus and falling off each and every single time because I'm not used to triangle being the jump button.
Don't cry issues.
Well, at least for DMC you could change the controls, so I'm not complaining there.
True.
Alright. Shit. I'm trying to think of one more.
Can I throw one in?
Oh yeah, sure.
I know this isn't like the most favorite Final Fantasy of them all, but credit where credit is due. Final Fantasy X and X2, their remasters were really good.
Oh yeah.
I hear that.
And they made the games look a lot better. So hell yeah.
And they added some creature system for companions that or like I guess it's like almost Pokemon style.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be more like Digimon? Or is it more Pokemon?
You could say more Pokemon.
Okay. I support that. Anything where you can create a companion type thing or things like I think Monster Hunter does it as well. And some I don't know too much about. I think they've got that as well. And like anything that gives you a little companion where you can roll around with and you just like beat the crap out of other things in the game. I'm gonna support that anyway.
Yeah. Anybody else got any?
Kinda. Well, it's a mod but it's a mod that shows how a remaster would have to be done if they would do it. It's a mod for Jagged Alliance 2, which is a super old strategy game from like I think it was released in 1999, if I'm not mistaken. And it's like a top-down strategy game like XCOM, basically, but set in like a tropical island, and you have to free a country of its dictator with mercenaries. And there's like a community still to this day that develops that patch. It started as an unofficial patch, but now it's really a remaster at this point because it features like bigger resolutions, hundreds of new weapons, improved AI, and all crazy amounts of new options you can put into the game, new just features that you didn't have before that you always wish to have. It's amazing, actually, if you look at it.
What's the game that they made from Left 4 Dead?
Left 4 Dead has good mods.
Yeah, I could have sworn that they made that game. You had to have Left 4 Dead, and they like used the Left 4 Dead like. Hang on.
No more room in hell, or. I'm confused.
The thing I knew they did with Left 4 Dead was the cold water and like pretty much any modding level for that game. I didn't know they made another game based on Left 4 Dead stuff. I have to check that out.
I don't know, maybe it was a mod where they replaced. Hang on.
It could be worse. It could be Dead Island remastered.
Yeah,
We don't need Dead Island. To be fair, Dead Island Remastered is basically Dying Light.
Well, also, Dead Island Remastered is somehow, it somehow is worse, but also it's not bad enough to be considered the worst remaster.
I know. I was
just
just
don't
like
any of those games.
I was just taking the piss out of people, and also, man, Dead Island is really weird with not putting out that sequel. Kind of just strange to me.
Yeah, hey, 4 years later, right? It's 4 or 5 now.
Yeah, no
It was
news.
like a
that,
MOBA
yeah.
game. And Dead Island was like a free-to-play MOBA game that also died really quick.
Man. I must have been drinking when this game came out, because I could have sworn that it had something to do with Left 4 Dead. Maybe it was like a promotion, I don't know.
Huh.
Whatever.
It's okay to be drunk.
I'm sorry. Problem. I can't help it. Though, speaking of Silent Hill and bad games and Left 4 Dead, have any of you ever played the Silent Hill mod for Left 4 Dead?
I have not, unfortunately.
No, like
What?
The first time my friends and I played it, it took us 7 hours to finish. And I cannot tell you how many times I think I almost peed myself. And I legitimately cried. I begged for us to stop. I was huddled in my chair, crying even more. My friends had to console me. Because there was literally one time you're walking along and 6 tanks run at you in your face. And then just as they're about to just whatever, they disappear. And the entire campaign is like, it just fucks with you. It was horrible. The worst 7 hours of my life.
Well, Silent Hill would have been great in VR, but Konami said, no, we ain't having that.
So sad.
The Forest is coming out in VR. I just read.
Yep.
Oh, that sounds good.
Oh goodness. I think I'd load that up and just sit down and just accept my fate.
Yes, Death by VR or Virtual Boy, whichever you prefer.
I cannot even play that game in vegan mode.
Vegan mode?
There's a vegan mode where they don't have any of the enemies, but I'm so scared that it will glitch and that there'll be the guys there anyway. Or I just sit there cry. I don't do horror games. I don't know if you could tell.
It's okay. I don't really do horror games because they're horror games. They don't need to be done.
They do you.
Exactly. You gotta bite the pillow for that.
Why?
I don't want to buy any pillows, buy any Vaseline. I don't want any of that.
Well,
Grip it and rip it, boy. Grip it and rip it.
Vaseline? What are you talking about? Baby oil.
No.
Get the shea
Super
butter
shit.
ones.
No,
Really
no,
nice.
no.
Smells gorgeous.
No, you're wrong.
Water-based.
You gotta use
Make sure it's water-based.
Yeah, this high sense of perversion is going to be highlighted.
Oh yeah.
All right, so back to good remakes. Homeworld. Homeworld.
Homeworld ain't bad.
Is a wonderful reboot remake that isn't covered in baby oil and Vaseline.
Oh god,
Or in
no.
loogies.
Oh no.
That's filthy on so many levels. This took a weird turn that I didn't expect to come into today.
You see,
This normally happens.
I hear you all talking crap about pillows. And I tell you, I have a waifu pillow, and it is the most comfortable pillow I've ever had in my life. So you stop your fucking judging, okay? You stop your judging. I do, and it's a girl one, and she is the most comfortable pillow I've ever had.
The title of
have
this
a hole cut in it.
The title of this podcast should be "Expect the Unexpected."
Yes.
Remasters, expect to be unexpected.
Yes, we all like a subtitle.
Have we all got to 5?
Kind of. I have one left or so.
I've also put the same MGS collection on this one. But that's because it has Metal Gear Solid 3, and that is like one of my favorite Metal Gears.
That game is so good.
Yes,
I love it. Everything.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful, and it makes me happy. But going away from MGS, I've got Bully, the Scholarship Edition.
I always wanted to buy that, but I never got the chance.
It's backwards compatible also, and it's fucking amazing.
If you want to, I don't want to say it because it kind of downgrades the game, but if you want to play kind of a watered down GTA, this is the game for you because.
I'll say this: GTA Lite.
Yeah,
GTA Lite. I think that's a better way to say it.
Because you're not shooting people in the face and having sex with hookers. You're in like high school
you're
trying
shooting people with slingshots, and you're trying to mac on a girl.
Yeah, you shoot people in the gonads with a potato gun. I understand.
Exactly. And you've got your cliques as the same. You've got your gangs the same way as well, because you got the nerds, you got the jocks, you got the preppy girls. So that's cool. Also, one thing that I didn't truly realize until like about a year after I played it, that coach is like pretty much a pedo, because he gets you to go into the girls' dorms and get their underwear for you to sniff it, for them to sniff it. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Hey, well, while I'm here,
too.
You just don't question these things, yeah.
Like I'm playing at that time, and later on, I'm just like, wait, hold on, that's a PE teacher. And he wanted me. Okay, all right, that's creepy. Like
the next time I see that character, I will shoot him.
He puts the PE in pedo.
Oh, he does. Yeah, that's. Oh yeah, and Twin Snakes. I love Twin Snakes on the MGS remake of Metal Gear Solid on the GameCube. But that's all my MGS love for this time.
To the topic of the game Bully, UK has a different name. They call it game Candice Cannon because they didn't want to call that name Bully.
What game? It's called what?
They call it Candice Cannon. Can you copy you?
Candice Cannon edit, I believe.
Yeah, in other countries.
On where you are, because I've got it in the UK. For me, at the very least, where I've got it is called Bully, but that the subtitle name for it is also called that as well. But every version I've seen of it here,
it was only in the UK.
Huh. In the stores that I've been to, well, at least in London, it's only ever been Bully. I've seen it online in places like that, but I've got it as Bully. That all my Xbox thingies. I think it must be other parts of the UK.
I think it was just the PS2 version. I think it was just that.
Probably
my PS2 one had Bully.
Yeah, just
yeah.
Super weird, but
I'll check that out, because I could have just been lucky enough to find a case that was called Bully for the PS2, but my online versions of it are all Bully as well. But I have seen the other name for it as well.
All right. So, any more best?
Sure.
You're the best.
Oh, thank you. I'll take that.
No one ever was.
Oh,
Same them. Yes.
Pokemon reference had to come from somewhere.
You're welcome.
So the last one that I have on my list is Age of Empires 2 HD Edition.
I've heard great things about that, but I suck at those kind of games.
The biggest problem with the normal Age of Empires 2 was after Windows XP, it always had compatible. God, that's a hard word to say.
Compatibility issues.
Thank you very much. Yeah, these kind of issues.
Like an American, it's so much easier.
Yeah, I imagine. No, it had so many issues. Sometimes you would start it and the resolution was all fucked up, or the colors were fucked up, or the game speed was really weird. And with HD Edition, they just neatly fixed everything. And they still then, like 13 years after they released the initial game, they released add-ons for it, which is mind-blowing to me still.
I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I still play it to this day every once in a while.
So, is that it for everybody, remaster-wise?
I'm good.
Sure. I think so.
Yeah, I'm also good.
Yep, I'm pretty much finished.
I'm finished too. All right, so let's slowly wrap this up here, folks. I've been Bane for you. You can find me at Bane for you with a YU at the end on Twitter. I'm normally there shit posting. You can find me anytime, really. Yeah, and Ren?
You can find me on Twitter at RenOperative_. You can find me on YouTube at Renegade Operative. As for content this week, I uploaded like 3 videos, so if you want to go check that out.
Videos. They're all over my Twitter feed.
Very, very taxing videos that took like about forever to edit because my internet was poop. So, but I think it turned out pretty good. So check that out if you want to stop by.
All right, Shadow Pyro.
That's fair enough. You can catch me on Twitter DS Shadow Pyro, Instagram DSPyro_, and YouTube DS Pyro as well. DS with a space in between, and then Pyro.
Yep. All right, Shadow.
All right, I've been Shadow. You can find me on YouTube and Twitter as Shadow1990CH, and I do Let's Plays and a weekly VR series where I look at stupid and crazy VR games.
All right.
Now you click at Skyrim.
Yeah, already did, but I have to mod it that it gets good. I will try that again.
4,000 mods to make the game run decently.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Worth it.
It's like 2 games in one. First you mod and you play the modding game, and then you play the actual game.
I'm way too lazy for that.
Such a refreshing experience.
Bizardon.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube at Bizardon and on Twitter at MOH_2M.
All right. And Anna.
You can find me at IAS Does Stuff. ANAIS is spelled ANAIS, or on my Twitter, ANAIS and stuff. Right to the point.
Hey, there you go. All right, so this has been the Infinite Ammo Syndicate podcast on the five best and worst remasters in our opinions. So yeah, been a good night, everybody, and we'll see you soon.
Peace.
Bye.
Don't forget the lube.
Full